what makes Vijay different from Kamal Hassan, Rajnikant, and previous actors who made brief debut in Tamil Nadu's politics, flash in the pan, and then disappeared?
Well, I mean, there's another way the question can be framed. One is if you look at entrance into Tamil Nadu politics outside the DMK and ADMK, uh, there are a couple of big players. There was the PMK, which sort of made its debut in 1989 and got some high single digit percentage of the vote. As my fellow panelists said, the DMDK got around 10% in the second election that it fought. I'm not in the business of hazarding guesses and saying that somebody will get so many percent or win by so many seats, because I think this is something. But having said that, there is something happening on the ground.
Okay.
And it would be, I mean, I think people are blindsided by the fact that he has not much of an organization, which is true. That, his MLAs are not exactly well known, which is also true. But the kind of crowds that he has had and the kind of people that have waited for him is actually reminiscent of, NTR in a certain way. That's one thing. So if someone tells me 5 to 7%, I would argue that maybe this is a gross underestimation. I think the phenomenon that we're seeing is greater than the PMK, greater than the DMDK at its best. So it is definitely going to be very much upwards over that. This has been underestimated over the last 2 or 3 months. I think people are now waking up to the fact that it might be a little more than that they had bargained for initially. And I will just say one thing. I mean, I think one of my fellow panelists mentioned, you talked of demographics. He has a massive following among the youth. And if you look at Tamil Nadu's electoral, the demographic, the way it's divided, about two out of every 5 voters is under 40. It's a significant amount. And my sense is that just to say that he's an actor and so it won't translate, crowds don't translate into streets, could be a very lazy way of saying this, simply because people have queued up, people have waited, and people have also, when you speak to them, they talk of change, matram is what they say. So I'm not suggesting he's going to win this election. I'm not suggesting, the Axis poll is right. But there is something that is very, very significant happening on the ground. How that plays out, how that cuts into the vote share of the DMK and ADMK are questions that are difficult to put one finger on.
It's very interesting you use the word, NTR was the only politician in the 80s, who marshaled religious and social images for political mobilization and blended it with the Telugu Asmita.
Yeah, so I covered NTR. In fact, I followed him for a couple of days during that campaign. And, some of the rallies that Vijay has held are just extraordinary in their size. So we could just, assume that they're all, fans coming to just see his face or something. But I suspect that it's a little more than that.